Yeah, 4-color Death Shadow. The name looks pretty tame here, but the deck is wild.
Yeah, there's some spice going on here. I do like Faithless Looting a good amount. Shadow can have those games where they kind of flood. Enables these Bedlam Revelers as well.
Todd Stevens winning the die roll will start on Birds of Paradise. Faithless Looting as well in Kevin's deck. Ryan, is that something you've ever registered in your Grixis Shadow takes?
Not in Death Shadow. Well, I've played a Hollow One Death Shadow deck that played Faithless Looting. There's no Hollow Ones here. I haven't had this particular configuration.
Yeah, he has 4. It's interesting because he's a 4 Faithless Looting and 4 Serum Visions deck. Normally I see one or the other on that. Both is a neat take.
He has a few things that play with it. As we branch into 4-color, there are 3 Lingering Souls in the deck, so that's a nice one to discard as well.
So it's going to be a Thoughtseize from Kevin. We'll see Todd's other cards. He has a Ghost Quarter. That's his only other land. A Noble Hierarch, a Scavenging Ooze, a Courser of Krufix, and an Aven Mind Sensor. He's got a turn 2 Courser wrapped up if Kevin leaves the guard there.
Yeah, Courser is not a huge concern for the deck, depending on what kind of lands Kevin has from here. You do have to worry about that Aven Mind Sensor, especially because Todd also has that Ghost Quarter. So if you don't have an answer for that, I think you want to take it.
Okay.
Ends up taking Scavenging Ooze, though.
Does. Todd draws another Birds of Paradise. So he can make the Courser here. He could also make Birds. He just goes straight for Aven Mind Sensor. That's... For this matchup, how do you feel about that?
Most of the decks that fetch and shock are pretty heavy on fetch lands. It's an aggressive line. He can't make another land drop this turn, though, so he doesn't need to get the Courser going right away.
Okay, so next turn he can Courser. If he doesn't draw the land, Courser can help him search for it.
Yep. Yeah, I do like this.
It's going to be... I see Serum Visions and Faithless Looting in Kevin's hand. So he shocks to 13, can pick which cantrip to lead on, and he's going to lead, it looks like, on Faithless Looting.
Yeah, because he can't leave something on top with the Serum Visions and actually cast this turn if he has to Faithless Looting into it, I do like this quite a bit better. Get to draw some cards, and then you get to try something for next turn.
Discards a pair of fetch lands. Thank you, Aven Mind Sensor.
Yeah, those are no good.
And another Thoughtseize. So now... Courser Ooze Bird, he'll take the Courser of Krufix.
Yeah, that one's a lot easier of a take.
Kevin has dropped down to 11, though.
He's fine with that. The clock's not huge here. I have bad news for you, though,
yeah,
Matthias.
I already see this coming.
This is the bingo turn.
Okay, cool. That's he's going to Ghost Quarter away, Kevin.
Unless he just can't, he doesn't have the mana to Remnant Excavator, so he kind of has to bingo me.
And here is, there you go. There you go. Aven Mind Sensor hits over for 3.
Hey, 5 in a row.
It is.
I just earned myself a cookie.
You know, it wasn't a sweep. I should let it be on the record. First of all, you haven't checked your free space, so you don't have, okay.
I guess I did.
All right, now it's official. It's not the first clean sweep on coverage. I got a square. I got 1 square.
It was a hard fought.
You have 12.
Everybody has off days.
Cool. That was neat. That was...
And the question being asked for this game is whether Kevin is really even still playing Magic after that Ghost Quarter. Once Todd plays this Ramune Excavator, I think Kevin is in a world of trouble.
Yeah, he can start Ghost Quartering every turn, and that's what he's going to do. Excavator, Ghost Quarter. Oh my, Aven Mind Sensor. This is fun. Oh, is there a basic in your top 4 cards? Ooh, no there isn't.
Well, he's already drawn one of his basics, and there's only 2 in the deck. Odds were slim.
Todd has Azusa as the last card. That'll be fun.
Yeah, doesn't even need that.
This is a real game. And Kevin's going to pick up his cards here in just a second. There we go.
Yeah.
The green-white land destruction from Todd doing exactly what it's advertised to do. Kevin did not get to keep lands.
It's unfortunate when this happens, when you get a really cool take on a deck.
And then the other person just Stone Rains them out.
Yeah, I guess this would have been sweet if he could cast his spells at all.
Yeah. So Todd Stevens dominant there on game 1. We'll get the scoreboard going the other way. Be back for game number 2 and after these messages. Oh, back here for game number 2, looking at Kevin Fieber's sideboard. He was really locked out of game 1. So he has 3 Collective Brutality, 2 Ceremonious Rejection, 2 Molten Rains, 2 Surgical Extractions, an Is It Charm, a Disdainful Stroke, an Engineered Explosives, a Kozilek's Return, a Liliana of the Veil, and a Stubborn Denial. I mean, 4 colors. He has a ton of options.
Yep, many of these cards are fine. Kozilek's Return's pretty reasonable as it deals with all the mana creatures, though Todd has a good volume of 3 and 4 toughness things and Knight of the Reliquary. It's a little bit dicey. Collective Brutality is reasonable against most builds of Collected Company decks. You get to take care of some mana creature, potentially get a Collected Company out of the hand, so that one plays there. I like Is It Charm a lot. It plays a very similar role. I think it's actually better than Brutality in the matchup because you either can hit a creature if it matters or just leave it up to counter a Collected Company for sure once they've committed to casting it.
Right.
Disdainful Stroke might just be a card you have to play.
Just to counter Collected Company?
It's not pretty.
It's not. On Todd's side, he has 2 Engineered Explosives, 2 Stony Silence, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Reclamation Sage, a Blessed Alliance, an Eidolon of Rhetoric, an Eldritch Evolution, an Elspeth, a Kataki, a Whisperwood Elemental, nice, and a Worship.
So the cards that deal with Death Shadow, the Engineered Explosives, the Blessed Alliance, those are going to be the best hits there. Could reach for Elspeth, but we're underway.
Making their way out to the hallway on the silver pairings board to the left of the event stage.
Kevin Fieber on the play here. Starts by fetch shocking to 17.
Your pairings for round 1 are making their way out to the pairings board to the left of the event stage.
And Inquisition of Kozilek from Kevin. See, Todd was on a 6-card hand here. So he has 2 lands, 2 Voice of Resurgence, an Eternal Witness, and a Courser of Krufix.
Not a very...
Could be a good hand here.
Yeah, not a very discard vulnerable hand. Either way, he has 2 voices. He can play that on 2. If you don't take the Eternal Witness, he can get whatever you take back. I think Eternal Witness is just the best card in the hand.
Takes Voice. Maybe he has another one. He can, if he has another discard spell.
Yeah, if you're able to slow that down, that is effective.
You know, I see hands like that, and I just think to myself, I want to play against this deck. Okay, like I'm thinking about like, oh, I'm playing Storm or a combo deck. It's like, yeah, I can beat Voice into Courser. I think we can do it.
Todd picked up another copy of Courser.
And Thoughtseize on Voice of Resurgence. So Todd, no turn 2 play.
Kevin, no second land.
Yeah.
And he's at 13, so he can't even cast Death Shadow.
And Todd's going to draw another Voice and another Plains. So can't cast anything yet, but another Thoughtseize from Kevin.
Guess it's the Eternal Witness.
Yeah, and just hope that Todd doesn't hit a green mana source.
Kevin can cast Death Shadow next turn, so there's that.
Basic Forest for Todd.
Well, that's not bad.
No, now he can play Courser. Collected Company on top. And yeah, Kevin's still missing on lands. He'll play Death Shadow. He's down to 9 passes. It's a 4/4, but Todd draws the Company. Engineered Explosives on top.
Probably pass on casting that Company.
Yeah,
well.
I don't want to. Here's Courser. Is he thinking about casting Company anyway?
It looks like he is. Thinks better of it,
yeah,
though.
Don't do that yet, Todd.
The thing is, right now, Kevin was tapped out of having a potential Stubborn Denial.
Right, and he has a power 4 creature already in play, so there's no real playing around it.
So you kind of wanted to cast something. You know you're missing on at least 1 card, and then you're also just not drawing your explosives. So I do like the line that Todd ended up on.
Here's Death Shadow from Kevin. Second one. Hits Todd to 16. I mean, I'm not sure why you'd want to play a second one unless you have a Stubborn Denial here. You know that Todd's about to draw this Engineered Explosives.
Yep. And now, with that extra land there, Todd's able to cast the Explosive and the Collected Company in the same turn cycle. With 2 shadows, though, and with that fetch land uncracked there for Kevin, you do have to be concerned about the damage output on Kevin's side. Looking over the deck list here, there are 2 Teamer Battle Rage available for Kevin. Those allow you to deal quite a lot of damage. These shadows are 4/4s. They can be 7/7s very easily.
Yeah, so Todd does have to be worried about a crackback. I mean, if you're on Todd's side, you just assume there has to be a stubborn denial, right?
Yeah.
It's just, there's no way.
There's not much you can do about the fact that it's there, though.
So Todd passes. And I guess I like this. Because if you main phase the company, then Kevin might actually just counter. Because you can't make and crack engineered explosives.
Right.
Kevin fetches to 8, not to 6. Gets Blood Crypt.
It looks like he wants to just be able to cast some spells. You don't want to deal too much damage yourself. There's 6 power on the other side.
Should Todd company right now?
He might be waiting to draw this other company on top of his deck to try to overwhelm Kevin over some turns.
Okay.
You also know that you're missing at least one time.
So if he's doing that, that means he's going to just not spend his mana.
Right. Yeah, he's leaving mana on the table. That is for sure. As things stand, though, Todd's position is not horrible.
No, I mean, he has Kevin at 8, and he has more creatures in play. Those are both very strong things here. And he's got this must-counter card in his hand.
Right. The other card in his hand is also just pretty good. And by not casting company, if he just doesn't cast it on Kevin's turn here, he just has a second copy of that, which you can kind of overtake the game with.
Kevin will swing both. These are currently 5/5 shadows. Todd will block one of them with Voice of Resurgence. So he takes 5, drops to 13, gets a Star Elemental. Our newest one, our Elemental, if you will.
Ely Cassis, our Season 2 Invitational champion.
No, come on. We got... Ely worked hard for this. Well, we will get one.
Yeah, I don't like none of this foil unstable nonsense. What?
That's closer.
Traded out for the non-foil. And Todd is going to cast Collected Company here, but Kevin already knows about Engineer Explosives. He does not want to Stubborn Denial this spell.
Azusa and Noble Hierarch. I mean, Azusa plus Courser's fun.
And just Horizon Canopy on top as well. You can draw a lot of extra cards.
Ghost Quarter, okay.
Hey, you can destroy all Kevin's lands.
And he gains 2 life each time he does this. This is nice. 1. Oh, yeah, now he has the 1 Ghost Quarter. Hold on, yeah. No, he doesn't have Ramanep yet, so 2. Gets 1 more land. Goes up to 17. This is fun. Todd is... What? There were 3 lands on top? What a... Played perfectly.
Ancestral Recall coming through. End of the chain, though, Birds of Paradise. That one's not a terribly exciting draw. See, it's a 5/5 elemental. He has a lethal attack here. You got to figure Kevin has a fatal push. You got to do some math about where Kevin ends up if he has certain pieces of interaction, what a Teamer Battle Rage looks like on the following turn.
There we go. First time on the battlefield here. We have our Elemental token. Of course, it was our invitational winner.
Death Shadow makes combat math really tough. The existence of Teamer Battle Rage really compounds that.
So, okay, so what do you assume is in Kevin's hand if you're on Todd's side?
So Kevin missed that land drop for a couple turns here.
Yeah.
So it could really be anything. You have to be concerned about Fatal Push and Teamer Battle Rage.
We're in beginning of combat right now. This means in theory Kevin could cast a 3-mana spell because of how Todd timed this?
Yes.
I don't like that. I guess there's no way around it. He just has Kolaghan's Command. So Todd by... Ryan, I don't like this at all. Why would he... By Ghost Quartering here... I think Todd's made a mistake by using this Ghost Quarter.
Well, how much does this Kolaghan's Command really do? Todd, he has 2 cards in hand, right?
Yeah, I guess Kevin makes himself discard, deals 2 to Noble Hierarch. And we'll see the time here. Engineering Explosives on 1 and crack. Kills the 2 shadows. That's post-combat. Let me say go. I think Todd wanted to use the combat step to force the mana usage in combat so that then he could resolve the explosives.
Yeah.
Kevin will make a game of it, or he'll try to. He'll make 2 Lingering Souls tokens, but I don't see that working. He's taking at least 3 damage next turn, and that's if he chumps his board away.
Kevin has a Surgical Extraction in his hand.
I'm very surprised to see that card.
That's a weird one in the matchup.
Well, think about how he lost game 1. It's possible if Kevin doesn't know this matchup. He looks at game 1 and says, my opponent is a Ramanap Ghost Quarter Prison deck. If you aren't familiar with it, based on game 1, it makes sense that you'd want to Surgical them.
Right.
Now, you don't. It's not really the matchup.
It's a fun pump spell if he still has Death Shadows hanging around.
Right.
That's just not the game we're watching.
Yeah, he's surgicaling away the Ghost Quarters now. So yeah, I think this is what he wanted them to do. Hey, you know, I'm getting a lot of stuff now. Spellcast during draw step. Actually, that's it. Not a lot. Todd's not drawing. Todd could maybe draw a card to this Horizon Canopy.
Relative to the boxes you've already checked, it is a lot.
Yeah, it's like I'm almost doubling.
Todd's changed up his basic land game.
Okay, what was that for?
Plays some fancy basics. He used to play the Sunflower Plains.
Okay.
Which is an expensive plains. The ones that he's playing now, I think, are of similar nature. Those APAC real world basics. I can't identify the ones that he actually has now, though.
Another land on top for Todd. This Azusa, this Azusa Courser has been so good to him.
It's a combination deck.
I do like it with fetch lands. They get to reset, gain life, and try again. That's just neat.
Gotta figure this is the kind of deck that you won't want to play anymore once we get to cast Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Green-White Company?
Yeah.
You know, I really didn't want to play it beforehand, but I do see your point.
I still won't want to play it.
Yeah. When you're telling me I could play an even better blue card instead of green and white cards, I mean, the sales pitch can be pretty bad, and I'm in.
Yeah.
I like green cards. Green cards are nice.
Green is...
White cards, I don't know. I'm skeptical.
I do end up in green in a lot of my cube drafts, I'll say that much.
It's an attack. Kevin going to go ahead and block with 1 Souls token. It puts him down to 1, or either 1 or 3, depending on how he wants to play this. Now, Shadow but Todd's at 27. He just doesn't... I don't see a way that he's going to...
So Shadow doesn't have haste, can't block multiple creatures.
Yeah,
there's
can't
a path
sweep.
to
Does he have like a Damnation? I don't think so.
Nah, he doesn't have a 3-mana one, I can tell you that much.
Bantu's Last Reckoning. No, he'll show the card. So Todd Stevens off buys here, picking up a clean win. 2 games to 0.